about igniting the senses of culture. Where and what is that spark that needs to be underneath all of us, and how can we find a city which we can all thrive in the past and the future, and how we can find culture within us. So why does London need to find a spark? What is it lacking currently? Well, we don't have such vast natural attractions that are going to be bringing people in. We do have a river which runs through us, but unfortunately there isn't a massive fjord or a mountain or some expansive landscape around it. So we need to develop in some form of the word. I'd like to note that, for disclaimer, I am an environmentalist, and I absolutely would propose that, along with the presentation earlier, any development that we have in the city should have strong triple bottom lines and really look at the social and environmental impacts in everything that we build. Use that as a tool to help innovate whatever the building might be, and look at how we can be incorporating the surroundings around us and make a more positive development, so that it brings people in because it's awesome, it looks good, and it feels good for everyone. So the 5 senses are how, in my opinion, we absorb culture. So what we smell, what we eat, what we look at, how we feel when we walk past something. That is the things that leave those landmarks in your mind, what brings you back to that memory you had when you were in Spain, the taste of food you ate at this place. That's how you absorb culture. So I have some ideas on ways that London can develop in different areas so that we can absorb to those 5 senses and turn around and be something that the people remember and come back to. So these are just places, they don't necessarily need to be here, but you look at Market Way, which I know that there's some developments going on there, but this area it's bare and open, and there's an opportunity to put in rows of just pedestrian walkways, and we're surrounded by hawker stalls, indoor, outdoor food areas that people come and stay at, exactly what was talked about earlier with the 10 restaurants in one area. Another idea is edible gardens, which are popping up all over the place. There's some great ones forming in Seattle. It's a huge project. This is something that London should get into, using our native trees, our apple trees, and building fruit stations that people can be coming and sitting in parks and actually taking a bite to eat, and talking about where our food comes from, and coming back to visit that. Take your children on a Sunday. Another idea is that Force of the Thames, which everybody's talking about so much, is something beautiful should be going on there. It's not the prettiest place, especially on a gray Sunday. And also an idea of a performing arts center is talked about a lot. So why not develop some crazy performing arts center? It doesn't need to look quite as spacey as this, but just an idea of, get the imagination soaring really high and then fizzle it down into some tangible idea. Another area which sort of goes after the visual, and there's many other aspects that can be brought in, is how people can drive past London, go to Windsor or go up to Toronto and actually not know there's a city there. So what can we put on that very barren land to sort of bring people at the outsource of our city and then bringing them in more? That was too quick of an image of incorporating a walking trail right at the highway, right before that Wellington exit. You can have a market there where you're bringing the food from other areas, walking trails for your dogs and your kids as more of a stopover visit. This last idea is a fairly far out one, involving using the rooftops downtown, and zip lining and incorporating the two together, and maybe we can have people traveling to spot A to spot B via rooftops. There's a really interesting photoshopped image coming up that you'll see. People maybe can go from the market over to the village, actually on top of the roof. So those are just some fairly far out ideas of ways that London can further beautify what we are as a city and who the people are, and really look at what we're doing already in our hearts. And there's been so many encouraging and inspiring conversations going on, and I think it's really time that we turn those beautiful imaginations and those beautiful ideas into beautiful landscapes, so that people Google search something cool that exists in London, and people come and visit the city because of this really, really neat thing, and people come back to the city and bring their friends because it is truly beautiful, and they can absorb culture through what they eat and what they see and what they smell, instead of things that maybe smell currently. Thank you.